Welcome, Pisces, to the month of September 2017. I'm Megan of North Star Astrology, and in the interest of saving time, and because I am dealing with a health matter, I am going to be reading to you from the book called Soul-Centered Astrology by Alan Oken, A Key to Your Expanding Self. And yeah, I'm dealing with a health matter where I can't sit for very long periods of time without my knee hurting because I've been told it has arthritis in it. But I'm doing what I can to reverse this situation because it can be reversed. Yeah, I'm eating like uber healthy. Anywho, I'll just jump right into this. Okay, Pisces, you are the light of the world. Speaking of light, I apologize for the glare. Okay, this is the light revealing the light of life itself. It ends forever the darkness of matter. And the rays of manifestation are the second and the sixth rays. And the personality-centered rulers, or planetary rulers and their rays on the personality-centered plane, are the planet Jupiter and the second ray, as well as Neptune and the sixth ray, which is like almost like a clover. And then on the soul-centered plane, the planet Pluto and the first ray, or what looks like a sun. Anywho, the principal duality of Pisces is reflected in its symbol and glyph. Two semicircles and a line drawn between them, and two fish connected by a silvery cord. Both of these representations speak about the essential passion, suffering, and redemption of man caused by the simultaneous attraction and separation of the soul and the personality. It is in this archetypal setting that we find the evolutionary frame of reference, not only for the humanity of the Piscean age, but for that of the age of Aquarius as well. The difference, and a quintessential difference it is indeed, is in the form through which the resolution of this cosmic duality is achieved. In the Piscean age, such liberation came from the crucifixion. It was in this most painful way that the lower ego sacrificed itself for the higher self. This act led to a mystical union with the universal source and a consequent resurrection, resurgence, and rebirth of the potency of that essential love for the betterment of all humanity. In the new age, individual evolutionary progress occurs as a result of the conscious merging of a fully individualized self within a transcendental group collective. This initiation leads to a tremendous increase in the availability of the powers latent on the fourth plane of intuition. The results are a channeling of the positive currents of Uranus, Buddhi, and the energies of the planetary heart chakra. This downpouring stimulates service to humanity as the vehicle for the expression of a great potency for individual, group, and collective enlightenment. And the author puts the letter L in capitalization there. In the Aquarian age, the Mosaic law given out at the inception of the age of Aries and the love of the Christ externalized at the time of the birth of Lord Jesus are to be synthesized into various forms of distinctly human expression during this seventh ray world period. Pisces expresses the fact that no matter what the age, the struggle to fuse the lower and the higher selves is always at work. The nature of this duality, as it expresses particularly through the fish, is taught by the Tibetan master through 3 pairs of keynotes. 1. Bondage or captivity. 2. Renunciation or detachment. And finally, 3. Self-sacrifice and death. And I wish I could get more and more into this, but it's very drawn out in the last or final zodiac sign of Pisces. But it is deep, deep, deep. And it's pretty cool, too. For instance, one of the functions of Pluto as the soul-centered ruler of Pisces is to provide the necessary destruction of the old forms of past incarnations so that such renewal may take place. This gives us yet another indication why Pluto is considered by many astrologers as the co-ruler of Aries, as well as the higher octave of Mars. There is another poetic, yet nonetheless authentic, esoteric significance for the death in Aries. And what they mean by the death in Aries, I guess, is because once Pisces fulfills its last reign on the last sign, then the first sign of Aries comes through, so to speak. So, but the ancient wisdom teachings tell us that once we are birthed into incarnation, we die to life and are born into death. It might be quite revealing and uplifting to ponder on this. In other words, it's like a dying off of your old ego self and a rebirth of your new self. This is my words. Your new self in your new state of consciousness. Almost like the shedding of a snake's skin. So letting go of the external ego or old self or old skin, rebirthing the new, as in raising the consciousness, if you will, or I mean truly raising the consciousness, or harmonizing with the new self in the new age. That being said, Pisces, I want to go over in part 2 the mutable cross, or the totally personality-centered individual, the fixed cross, or awakening to the soul-personality relationship, and finally the cardinal cross, or the soul-centered individual, through reading to you the 3 columns of the Pisces key words in the understanding or explanation of each consciousness. Like, for instance, for example, this is the lower conscious, or opaque water. Then upon the fixed cross, it is the translucent water. And then Pisces becomes the waters of life upon the cardinal cross, and is therefore raised up out as in a happy dolphin, if that makes sense. Yeah. So there we go. Pisces. I will go ahead and I'll be right back with part 2. Thank you so much and have a wonderful September.